Welcome to Rick's Corner, brought to you by Old School Labs, the brand I trust and the only one I put my name to. Use my code drasin12 on the link below.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Here's how we do this. Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have a friend of mine from the gym here today who I've known for quite a while. Her name is Jany. She has a story to tell, and I've heard it, and I want you to hear it because I think she needs to share it with you. It's a pretty good story, and it has to do with training and getting back in shape, out of being out of shape and being injured in an accident and pulling it all together. Because so many of us go through things like this, and it's this is information that needs to be shared. Right, Jany?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, Jany?
Yeah, Jany.
So let's start in the beginning. Tell me what happened, or tell us what happened.
So back in 2010, I was exercising. I would go out every evening after I put my kids to sleep and take a run up in the Burbank Hills. And I was running that evening, and I missed a curb. Mm-hmm. And I won't tell you that I was texting and running because that was what I was doing, so don't do that.
Yeah.
Looked at my phone, missed the curb, and ended up falling and blowing the disc in my L5-S1 area. So the pain was just absolutely tremendous, and I ended up going to the doctor and saw that the disc was blown out.
Yeah.
So
well, L5 is very common.
Yeah.
But it controls your legs and everything.
It controls your legs and your ability to walk, and that sciatic pain is probably one of the most excruciating pains.
I have it right now. I'm going to put it on eBay and sell it.
Get rid of it. It's up there with labor, I'm telling you.
Oh man, I'm telling you. And I'm sure that most of you out there have had that. It just destroys your whole leg and foot and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's like somebody just stuck an electrical socket on you and is just electrocuting you to death. It was awful.
Does it come and go?
It didn't come and go. It was there to stay that time. After that incident on that running path, it was there to stay, and that's why I went to go seek immediate medical attention. I'm not a big fan of going to the doctor. You know, a limb has to be hanging off for me to get there. Yeah. And this was definitely one of those instances for sure. So I went to the doctor. We tried cortisone injections to start.
Yeah, where did they put the cortisone?
Directly in the spine right here.
Oh, so it's a spinal.
Yeah, spinal. Okay. And it made it worse. Did it? Yeah, I was like a child on the floor crying.
I don't know why that would do that.
It aggravated it. The pain was just so intense. So my mom took me back to the doctor. We found a spinal surgeon that could do the surgery, and it was supposed to be a very simple microdiscectomy. I got 3 other opinions. I worked in the legal field back then. And, I spoke to a few different doctors, and everybody agreed, get the microdiscectomy. It'll make everything feel better, alleviate that pain from the sciatic nerve, and you'll be good to go. So we went in that Friday and into the hospital, and when we had the surgery, and unfortunately the surgeon was a little bit arrogant, and he made a mistake in surgery.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So apparently I had an anomaly in my spine where the L4 and 5 shared the sheath that it came out from the spine, and so when the bottom nerve was pulled down, the top nerve came into the line of the scalpel, and there was some severing of both of the nerves. So ultimately they lost the leg completely in the surgery. There was an intraoperative EMG that I had come to see years later where it was 0. And to date, I still have 0 nerve function from the knee down.
They have, I got a mosquito bite is what I got. God, I hate those things, and they just love me for some reason.
Because you're so sweet.
Clean, sweet blood. I'm stuck by vampires in my own home. I took a Medrol pack which is a cortisone, prednisone pack. It's a 5-day pack, which reduces pain and inflammation. And my doctor said that's the only thing that will help on sciatic.
Yeah, I've taken those too, but for me, that 5-day pack, it's a power punch. It is super strong, and it made my blood pressure go through the roof.
Well, if you know me as Rick, I don't follow directions. I tell the doctor, I can't give any more, it's not good for your joints, it's not good for this. But wait a minute, hold on. I don't take it as you prescribe it. I take 1 pill a day if I need it.
Oh.
And that pack will last me a long time. Sometimes I don't need it, but if I wake up in the morning and I'm really not feeling well, I take the 1 pill, it'll see me through the whole day.
Wow.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah, no, it's strong stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Prednisone in general, I've taken it a couple of other times for different injuries just to reduce the swelling, and it seems to reduce the swelling everywhere. So
I looked in the mirror. I looked in the mirror and I was like one of those little people. I just like, shh. No, but it definitely got rid of the pain and the swelling, but it doesn't get rid of this itching.
Yeah.
So that's another.
I'll have to get you some cream for that.
All right. Yeah. This is like driving me nuts. I sprayed in there with everything you can think of to kill those bugs, and they come back, and they just keep coming. I had my house sprayed. Nope, those little mosquitoes just come back. They told me they could travel 8 miles just to see me.
Well, well, last year we had those crazy mosquitoes that were biting just from the knee down. And
they bite my ankles. Gosh. Yeah, they do that too. So now, what happened after this?
So after the surgery, woke up, was like, oh my gosh, I cannot feel my leg, what's happening? And unfortunately, nobody gave me any answers. So it was the hunt to find out what happened. I had a ton of complications after. I wasn't sealed up properly after the first surgery, and I ended up having a tear in my incision, spinal fluid leaking, so that's an immediate second surgery. Went back in, cleaned things up, but still couldn't feel the leg. Went to a ton of different doctors, finally found somebody at Cedars that was willing to look into what was going on back there. He did what was supposed to be a 30-minute exploratory surgery, ended up being 6 hours of what he said sewing together wet tissue paper. So it was a big challenge, and I was really grateful to that doctor because he was able to help me regain function from hip to knee. Unfortunately, the knee to the foot, it just zero. Yeah. Never came back. Nerves are such they're touchy little creatures, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, they really are. I mean, that sciatic nerve, I went to a chiropractor, and when I would walk, my foot would go out that way. He says, that's the nerve pulling from your back to your foot. It's pulling your foot in that direction to alleviate it. And it's like a string attached to your hip, to your knee, to your foot, and someone's pulling that string, and your leg just goes like this, right?
Right.
So now what? You started working, you said something about gaining weight?
Yeah, so for 3 years I was having multiple surgeries, and I was super depressed, as you can imagine, feeling that I just lost life, lost my job, everything was just gone. So I gained over 100 pounds. I was pushing 285 pounds, and the weight, as you can imagine, isn't great for your leg anyways.
No.
And yeah, I was a very miserable person. I was very depressed, and with no answers to what happened in the surgery, because we didn't find out until we pulled all the medical records. I did sue the doctor, and unfortunately lost.
That's really hard to win with those guys.
Yeah, it's really tough, because by the time we ended up in trial, was 6 years later, and I'd already had started losing the weight. So the jury, they couldn't get it, and then, we unfortunately had some juror misconduct. We filed appeals, mistrial. They didn't want to, let us do it again, but a couple of jurors came forward and, fought for me, and, went to talk to the judge, and everybody hates jury duty, right?
You should have hired Bull.
Bull?
You know Bull? He's on last night. He's a jury psychologist. It's a TV show. He just analyzes everybody and gets them to turn their thoughts around. It's a great show.
Well, I wish Bull was around back then.
No, it's good. So then what happened?
So, I just kept trying to get better. My kids are the saving grace, for sure.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I was so depressed, and I was so overweight, and I was in so much pain. They had me on, I can't even tell you how many narcotic medications and anti-seizure and blood pressure and antidepressants, and I was basically a walking zombie. and I wasn't me. So my kids were like, listen, Mom, we cannot do this with you anymore. This is crazy.
It's, when I had some things with me here, I had pneumonia and congestive heart failure.
Right.
And I was home, and my kids would take turns watching me, and after a week, that was it.
Yeah.
They didn't want to do it anymore, and I don't blame them. It was a big demand on them, and I didn't really want to burden them with my problems, so I hired somebody to come in a couple of times a day until I felt good enough to go back to the gym. So what happened then? Did you go to the gym?
I started with the nutrition part of it because I still wasn't able to walk very well.
Yeah.
So I needed to start with something. So I went to the store and bought out The World and tried to figure out how to use these supplements and what to do to lose weight, and realized that I was just buying a whole bunch of things that I didn't know how to use. Some things didn't taste so great.
You bought a bunch of weight gainers.
I bought a bunch of, I don't know what I bought, but when you go into these supplement stores, you're not getting a coach necessarily. You're just you're just getting sold a lot of products.
A lot of stuff you don't need.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that you don't need.
Did you join the gym after that?
I did join the gym. I actually, like, my one pit stop is I ended up getting a coach first. I got a coach. I use the Herbalife nutrition products for myself. I also distribute them now. And we started slowly. We started walking, we started exercising, doing things in a controlled environment since I couldn't really walk that well. And then we incorporated the weights, and then it just turned into a complete obsession. I ended up losing 115 pounds.
No, I see you training now, and you train hard.
I do, and I love it. I love it. I think that, the gym for me is my happy place.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah. You go in there, you feel good, you work out aggression, you make new friends, and and seeing your body change and transform, that's a big part of your internal happiness.
It's funny because I'm going to relate to something I did once. When I moved here and I was living down south of here, I was training at Bill Pearl's gym, and I looked in the mirror one day after I took a shower, and I thought, where did I get all that muscle? I didn't really know it until that one day.
Right.
And then that inspired me to train even harder.
Yeah.
Because there's things like that that do it. So what about the neuropathy in the feet and numbness?
So that to date is still there. I learned how to live with it and cope with it. And, our bodies have a very keen way of coping with certain injuries.
Yeah, you can walk around it, literally walk around it. And get by with it, and eventually you don't even think about it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The numbness was weird because I talked to several people because I had it in both feet, and I felt like I was walking around on pillows. But I didn't get the pains you're talking about. I get the side of my leg to my knee where the skin is numb.
Yeah.
And like I said, I put an ice pack on and it feels hot. It doesn't even feel cold. But eventually I think that's all going to work itself out. The body takes care of itself.
It really does. And I hadn't, once after a certain amount of time, and I was in the gym, and midway through, since 2010, I had lost my medical insurance, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? All these medicines cost a lot of money. So I ended up just detoxing from all of them. I didn't do it the right way. You should go to the doctor and have them wean you off of all of those medicines, because I was sick for a couple months, violently ill actually. But when I woke up from that zombiness that they had me in, it was surreal that the supplements that I had been taking, for circulation, for joint support, etc., all of those combined were doing their job. Can you imagine that? Supplements doing their job?
Well, there's truth in it.
Yeah.
I think the medications, like I won't take pain pills and stuff. I don't want to get involved in that stuff.
Yeah.
And weaning off like these heart medications, like I said, I can cut back to every other day, cut it down little by little. I don't need a doctor to tell me that.
Right.
But doctors, they tell you the same thing. I go to a cardiologist and he gives me 10 minutes of his time. He says, you don't take these, you'll die. Oh, thank you so much. We're all going to die.
Yeah.
Then he says, you'll die sooner. I said, well, what's sooner? Sooner than what? So I came home and I went back and I told him, I said, I just looked at my birth certificate. And I looked at it inside, upside down, back and forth, and there is no expiration date on it. So I don't know when I'm dying because it doesn't tell me.
Well, never. You're supposed to stick around for a really long time.
I think so.
Yeah.
But if you can work through stuff, and it's hard, it's hard to get through some things sometimes.
It really is. Your mind plays so many tricks on you, And, you know, it comes to a point where you honestly just have to decide. And when you make that resolve and you push forward, you can become unstoppable. It's, you know, right now, they told me I was supposed to be fused from levels 3 to 5. And in my spine, and I was like, you can keep that fusion to yourself. I like bending down and tying my shoes, thanks. And, you know, I do lift heavy now. I love bodybuilding. It has just become an amazing, just healthy obsession.
You try to keep up with your boyfriend, he looks like really heavy.
He does lift really heavy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we linked up about a couple years ago, and, you know, we started training real heavy, and powerlifting, bodybuilding, it's fun.
Thank God that you have him. He's a wonderful guy.
He is.
And he gives you good support.
He does. And
everybody needs that.
Definitely. You definitely need people in your corner, because alone is a tough road.
But he's always there with you. He's always got your back, and that's a good person.
He is a very good person. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see that you're doing what you want to do and you're making progress at it. And you're going to compete?
You know, I had thought about it. I'm definitely looking into the powerlifting, but coming from minus 115 pounds, there's a lot of excess skin that's happening there.
I know that. You know, and you're right. It is there, and it's hard to get that down.
It is.
But there's nothing wrong with powerlifting. I started as a powerlifter, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it's a competition within yourself to try to keep increasing every time you go. Just be careful on some of those lifts so you don't hurt your back again.
Absolutely. Everything's in a controlled environment. I definitely listen to my body.
Yeah.
You know, when things hurt, I just know when it's time to put it down.
I don't.
Well, you have to. You definitely have to.
You know, competition, some people are really cut out for it. And more power to them. And it's fun and it's healthy and it's good to see. But I wouldn't, well, I did for a short time. I don't like somebody else judging me how I look. I know how I look.
Right.
And I know when I look good and when I don't look good. And I don't want someone telling me, well, you know, you don't have this. I know what's there and what's not.
Right.
And as long as I look good to me and I look good in my clothes,
right,
and I look good on the street, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I agree. The powerlifting, that's exciting to me. That's, you know, I want to go over there and lift some cars.
No, I mean breaking records. I used to always try to outdo my bench press, and when I got to 300, I thought, man, I accomplished something.
Yeah.
Then I went to 375, then I went to 4, then I went to 450, and I thought, oh my God, when's this ever going to stop?
Yeah.
It stopped at 455 because I quit pushing it. But at least I got that high.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, my deadlift now is at 365 and growing. My bench press is at 165. You know, bench press, you know, women, we don't bench press as heavy. Well, there's some women out there that are just my idols, like.
Yeah, let me tell you something about the bench press. Today's world, the Olympic bars, well, back at Gold's back in the day, we had Olympic bars. There were some bars that were better than others. They were thinner. They all weighed 45 pounds. But there was a certain amount of flex to it.
Yes.
Not that you're trying to cheat that weight back, but it did give you a little bit of momentum when you went up. If you had the bar that was a little thicker, you brought it down, it was like dead weight. It wouldn't budge.
Yeah. We have one of those bars right now. I always change it.
Yeah, I don't like those bars. They don't do anything for me. So it does make a difference in your lift, and it's not cheating, it's just the bar itself. But that's all right. That'll make you stronger too. So what are your plans for the future?
My plans for the future now, I help people lose weight. I help kids. I work with elderly. My mission is just to help people get healthy.
Yeah.
You know, it's so important. My mom recently broke her leg, and, you know, she's been drinking the supplements along with me, and, you know, I wish that my family would have taken health and fitness much more serious way back when, because then she wouldn't have been in so many of the health problems she has.
They don't.
Yeah.
My mom lived till 97. I used to get her supplements, and after a week, she said, they're fine. They're fine.
They just still sit there on the
What do you
counter.
mean they're fine? They're fine. No, they still sit there. I said, Mom, you need to drink more water. I can't drink that much water. I have to go to the bathroom. I said, there's something wrong with going to the bathroom?
Right.
He said, Caesar, what, you don't like to touch yourself or something? You need to drink water. And when she died, she was dehydrated.
Yeah.
She didn't drink water.
Yeah. My mom listens. I'm pretty impressed with her. She's a trooper. I honestly, when I saw her at first, I said, oh my gosh, are you gonna make it through this? This leg thing is just crazy. You know, and she's 79 and she's a fighter. She's like, I'm going to walk. I don't care. I get out of here. We're pure Bulgarian, so hardcore accent. And but no, she fought through it, and you know, it's helping people and sharing my story with people. I think it's really important. I think everybody's story really makes an impact because there's so many people that can relate to you and what you're going through. And
well, there's so many people that have stories that you don't know, and they're walking around and you say that person has one. That they all have their own story. If you can get in there and talk to them, you'll learn a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you can take something from everybody's story. And
yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, just like now, I didn't know all this, but it's good to know. Now, if people want to reach you on the internet, is there a place where they can find you?
There is.
A little cubby hole or something?
There's a cubby hole. My website is betherevolt.com.
Yep.
And my Instagram is Jany Despotov, and with a J, pronounced with a Y.
Okay.
we like to trick
I'll write it
people.
down.
Okay, cool.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for coming over here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for bringing me the t-shirt, bringing my groceries in.
Always.
Maybe you can vacuum a little bit and do some other
Okay,
stuff.
I'll do some vacuuming.
Thank you guys for watching Rick's Corner, and we'll see you all next time. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRASIN12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com. Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin. Personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world. And I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interests as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.